Recently, Apple's marketing team has been airing commercials and online ads about their new iPad Pro, and is even making the bold claim that it's more powerful than a PC laptop. Upon hearing these claims, I decided to put it to the test, and for the past week, only have used my iPad for my usual computing tasks. Let's see if an iPad can really replace a laptop. Here on East Coast Tech. For testing purposes, I'll be using my iPad Air 2. Now, I know it's not the latest iPad Pro, but hey, I'm a budding YouTube channel, so I make do. The features I'll be missing out on are the Apple Pencil support, the adaptive refresh rate on the screen, and some computing power since I am about 2 generations behind. Besides that, my iPad Air 2 is still snappy and it hasn't really shown its age thus far. I've also taken the liberty of installing the latest beta edition of iOS 11, since it adds a whole slew of new features for iPads especially. Being a beta, it does come with its quirks, but more on that later. For starters, let me run down a list that most people usually use their laptops for, and see if we can reproduce that functionality on the iPad. First up, web browsing. Not much to say here. iPads have long supported internet browsing with the built-in Safari app, which is one of, if not the best, mobile web browser out today. IMO. iOS 11 brings in a few new details such as redesigned web video player, which is reminiscent of how the native video player on the full version of macOS X looks today. Now on to media consumption. The App Store offers just about everything under the sun in terms of video on-demand services, including YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Crackle, and apps from your favorite TV stations and more. There aren't a lot of free services, but the same can be said for the laptop experience. So moving on. Music works similarly here with several name brand options for streaming services like Pandora, Spotify, and Apple's own music streaming service. Connectivity. Base models come with the standard 802.11ac wireless functionality, and iPads can even ship with cellular access as well. So in this category, they're even a bit better than most laptops. Bluetooth lets me make use of external peripherals like a keyboard, which brings me into the next category. Productivity. I'm not really firing up the old word processor like I used to in my college days, but I do occasionally make up graphs and such for the channel. iPads nowadays come with Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, which are Apple's in-house word processor, spreadsheet, and slideshow applications. You can even get some Microsoft Office apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and even OneNote and Outlook are available if you're into that. With all these tools at our disposal, we should have no problem being just as productive and have just as much fun in our iPad as our laptop. And for the most part, that's true. Tablets reign supreme when it comes to portability, and with media consumption, the experience definitely beats out the laptop. Productivity, however, leaves a bit to be desired. If you're lucky enough to have a Bluetooth keyboard on hand, then great. I had my Magic Keyboard from my Mac Mini set up, so I connected it and got to work. And after a few minutes, a fatal flaw had dawned on me. Ergonomics. With the iPad screen being so much smaller than the traditional laptop screen, I found myself craning downward while working, which led to a nasty cramp in my neck. My solution for this was to prop my iPad on a box, which remedied the situation a bit, but seeing as most laptops have larger, optimized screens for viewing while on a desk, the iPad left much to be desired. Another loss for the iPad is screen size. Average laptop screens are anywhere from 13 to 17 inches, which is much larger than my iPad's 9.7 inch screen, or even the newer 10.5 inch variant. The iPad Pro does have the larger 12.9 inch screen option, but at that size, you're definitely going to sacrifice that comfortable movie watching experience we were talking about. On to gaming, there are plenty of fun games on the App Store, But sadly, ladies and gents, there will be no Overwatch to be had here. If you're the casual gamer who doesn't mind mobile games like what's available here, then you're good. For myself, however, it was definitely not the experience I would want. Gaming optimized laptops are on the higher end price-wise, but you still have the opportunity to game should you so desire. The last thing I wanted to talk about was content creation. Both desktop applications are going to reign supreme here, but I wanted to see if I could actually produce this video using only my iPad and iPhone. There are plenty of imaging editing apps on the App Store, and iMovie was free, so off I went. And if you hadn't already guessed, this entire video was edited and assembled only with iOS apps, which include Filmic Pro, Camera Plus, Road Recorder, Adobe Lightroom, and iMovie. Making a video this way did have its challenges, but the biggest challenges were battery life and storage space. Other than that, iOS's ecosystem is pretty robust that there was literally an app for everything I needed to do. From advanced video production to audio processing, I was covered. And you get to see the fruits of my labor for yourself. So I guess an iPad actually can replace your laptop so long as you don't mind a few compromises along the way. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you hated it, dislike it, get subscribed. I do have links for some of the equipment I used to produce this video down in the video's description. They're tied to my Amazon account, and if you happen to purchase them, I get a little kickback at no cost to you, which helps me make videos like these. Again, this was Andrew with East Coast Tech, and I'll see you next time.